right, we'll call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mission of the Harrisonville R9 School District is to provide excellence in education. That's why we're here every month, and why everybody here is here every day.
Make sure they have their microphones.
Yep, do you have your mics on?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we're good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Preview approval of agenda.
Oh, preview approval of agenda, please. We need a motion.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Okay, all those in favor? You have to remind me.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we will move on to delegations and recognitions.
Consent agenda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. God bless America.
Look, it's a short agenda tonight
God,
anyway.
I am. I'm going to have to.
Get to the end, it's okay.
We're done. Good night. That's it. Okay, now the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Is that a roll call or all? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Okay, now do we move on to delegations and recognitions? Yes. Okay, we do not have any audience delegations, so we will go to student recognition. Tonight we have the Harrisonville High School, Kason Rowe and Lauren Leisure. And
Yes.
okay, and Mr. Wiegers is going to be introducing them.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Please come on. So every month at the high school, we recognize a male and female student of the month. Staff votes for the senior male, senior female student of the month. So for the month of September, it doesn't like me. For the month of September, we had Miss Lauren Leisure as our female student of the month, and Mr. Kason Rowe as our male student of the month. I'll tell you a little bit about Lauren. She's involved in FCCLA, FCA, and campaigners. She told me the best part of high school is making and being with friends. Her favorite subject is English. She plans to use her A+ money after graduation and attend Longview. And then she's going to transfer to UCM, good girl, and major in elementary education.
Yay, very good.
Harrisonville. I asked a few of the teachers about Lauren. Mrs. Ellsworth told me that Lauren is a very bright young lady that will accomplish anything she sets her mind to completing, and I can think of no other student more deserving than, for Student of the Month. Way to go, Lauren. And then I asked Mrs. Waring, our librarian, about Lauren, and she said that Lauren is one of the most well-read students in the school. She has literally, and that was in all caps, read everything in the library, or at least 3/4 of the books. She has consistently, for the past 3 years, been involved in every reading promotion that the library has organized, and Lauren is currently working as a cadet teacher in the library. She loves shelving and organizing the books. She helps her peers pick out great stuff to read. One time she explained that the only punishment her parents could give her for not interacting with the family enough was to take away her book for the evening, and she was devastated. Ms. Waring said she is a kind-hearted and beautiful young lady who makes HHS a better place to be each and every day. So congratulations, Lauren. And then Mr. Kason Rowe has been involved in football all 4 years of high school. He served in student council his junior year. He told me the best part of high school is making new friends and being with them. His favorite subject is history. After high school, he plans to use his A+ program money to attend MCC and then might pursue a sports medicine degree. A few of the teachers I talked to about Kason, Mrs. Deviney told me that Kason's a wonderful young man. He's proof that still waters run deep. He may not say much, but when he does speak, he's kind, considerate, and thoughtful. I love having him in class. Coach Lockett said I would say that Kason is a young man of character. Throughout the 4 years that I have been his coach, he's proven that he is strong-willed. He's never quit and has never placed blame on others. I'm very proud to be his coach. And then Mrs. Bruns told me that Kason's a very hardworking and dedicated to his ceramic sculptures and did exquisite work. Even though he began in the beginning ceramics thinking he was going to be horrible, he took on the challenge and conquered it. So congratulations, Casey.
Then we have Cass Career Center here that will give CSI students that completed a national level over the summer and those that are working in their field already.
That'd be you, yeah. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Officer Chandra Kelly. I teach the Criminal Justice and Crime Scene Investigation course at the Cass Career Center. This is the third year for the program, going into the third year for the program, and we've had many successes. One of our biggest accomplishments from the skills level, Ms. Gabrielle Stoddard here, she competed with a team of 3 last year at US Skills USA, and they won state, so they were state champions in crime scene investigation. I'm going to have her talk a little bit about that experience, if that's all right. The other 2, Ms. Orenberg is still in my class as well, but she had to work tonight. And then Ms. Jenna Wyatt, who was on that team as well, got accepted into Emporia State into their criminal justice program, and she's currently attending Emporia State and couldn't come back. So I'm going to have her just talk to you a little bit about that experience and how that was for her.
Hi, my name is Gabby Stoddard. So when I first started Skills, I didn't really know what was going on or how to navigate through it, so it's been a really good experience so far, obviously, but it was really amazing. And what happened was when we went to state, it was run by the State Highway Patrol, and we were separated from all the other groups, and we were taken up to their building, and then we were in a room for 8 hours all by ourselves, which wasn't the best, but we really enjoyed competing, and we made a lot of new relationships with people. And the best part was once we get to nationals, then that's even further industry run. So once you get there, people who are in your job field are the people running and judging your competition. So we got offered jobs, we got offered scholarships, sort of, and they let us look into things for colleges, and it was a really interesting experience, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope to go back this year.
Did this class help you with that?
Yes, absolutely. If you had thrown me into the CSI competition without this class, I would have been totally lost. So it was a really good tool.
Did it help drive home your love of crime scene investigation?
Yes. I didn't even think I wanted to be in crime scene investigation before this class. I knew I wanted to be a lab technician, which is still what I want to be, but this has also opened up a new field that I'd enjoy to be in.
Miss Stoddard does, just so you know, Miss Stoddard does a plethora of things in our room. She's getting ready to write an article for the Missouri Peace Officers Association magazine that will be published in January. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. The article is going to be on internships and job shadowing and the importance of that before you head into your career field. So she's an amazing student. She's an athlete at Belton High School. She's a swimmer. She does just about everything. She's an amazing, amazing woman. So, and she's going to do great things in the world. So I'm excited to have her. So unfortunately, I lose her after this year. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Stoddard. And then I have John Henry Jackson. He is from Adrian High School. John Henry is another amazing student. He came to me from Adrian, and when I looked at him, I thought, cop. I mean, it was the first thing I thought of. And so it was amazing. He was just, I'll let him tell you if you want to, or I'm going to spoil it. But today he just got his notification. He was accepted to Missouri Southern into their criminal justice program. So he wants to be a state trooper. But can you tell them just a little bit about how this class kind of helped you on that?
So hi, I'm John Henry Jackson. This class has been like one of the greatest blessings I've ever gotten through school. This class, like I've gone into this class knowing that I wouldn't be in law enforcement, but this class did nothing but prove to me like, okay, that's what you're going to do when you get out of here. But it's taught me things I've never known. It's opened my eyes to things that I've never seen before, and it's literally the greatest experience I've had. It's given me connections to people I never thought I'd know in my entire life, and it's amazing. This class has helped not just me, but my classmates realize things about themselves, not just in the law enforcement, but as people themselves. It's given us good traits to live by, and it's amazing. So this class has literally helped me through life and to help me become a law enforcement officer. So.
John Henry is also one of our police explorers. Last year was the first year, a partnership between Chief Hofer and myself. Cass County used to have an explorer program, but they hadn't had one for a long time. So with the help of Chief Hofer, we got another one of those going. So it will start up again this year. Last year, I think we had 7 people in it. And so this year, we're hoping to kind of grow that, and ages 13 to 21 can join. And John Henry was a big part of that inaugural year as well. So another amazing student, and I just wanted to thank him so much for being such a great part of my program. He's a huge leader in my classroom, and he'll be a great leader in life. So
Thank you.
I'm very excited about it. I'm sorry, and I apologize to take up so much time. But I also want to say thank you to the board. I know this class came up 2 years ago or 3 years ago on a ballot somewhere, okay, for everybody to approve or not approve. And I wish you could come talk to all of my students and the impact that I think this class is having on their career choices, whether that's to be law enforcement or not be law enforcement, or to be crime scene or not be crime scene. But I want you to know, too, it's already having a good effect on our community. There's already an impact there. I have 4 students that graduated last year and the year before that are already corrections officer in Cass County. So they went straight from my class into industry. Not only that, but I have 90% of my class who are in college, either in a criminal justice field or of some kind in college. So I just want to say thank you so much for approving this class. I think it's great for a student, and it's great. It's going to be really great for our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
It's a phenomenal program. I've heard nothing but good things about it from all the kids that have been through it. So I think you do an outstanding job with that program. All right. We will move on now to program recognition. Oh, that was it. You're right. I combined it all. God bless it. I'm not on my A game. Partner organization, Harrison Public School Foundation.
Okay, well, I'm Lawrence Smith, and I'm the acting president because everybody knows that Jill Filer is the boss. And so when she says, Lawrence, please be there, I say, yes, Jill, I will be there. So as acting president, I'm passing out some of these information flyers about the foundation. You all know most of it, but tell you a little bit about the foundation. A couple of things that we're doing this year that for some income producing things are, first of all, we're selling the yard signs, which is Wildcat Pride. You'll be seeing some of those come up. We got that as an income generating potential there. We've got T-shirt sales that are coming up. These are things we're going to be doing at homecoming here in a couple of weekends. And so we have homecoming activities that we got a tailgating, first time we've ever had tailgating for the alumni. So we're going to be doing that this year for alumni and families. It's free to them, and it's being hosted by the foundation. And then after our 5K run on Saturday, the 29th, we'll be hosting tours of the Harrisonville High School for the alumni, because everybody that graduated prior to 1971, when I graduated, did not get to go to that school. So they need to see that school. So we'll be having tours there. Our 5K run this year is a little bit different. We're going to be doing a color run. If you're familiar with that, they throw paint at you or some kind of color. So anyway, we're all going to be coming up with colored T-shirts Saturday morning, the 29th. It starts at 8 a.m. We need to be there around 7:30 to sign in. You have an application or a sign-in sheet, so I hope you'll use that for Saturday. And the golf tournament is Friday the 28th. If you all have a golf team, want to play golf, it's a fundraising opportunity there as well. Our Major Savers discount cards will be done in January. That's a program that's a fundraiser for us that we split 50-50 with the different schools. So as the kids sell the cards, that school gets a portion of the proceeds. So that's a fundraising for the school as well. Some of our programs are is our continuation of our teacher grant program. We've moved the application dates to October and to March, because what we thought was by giving it in October, that'll give the teachers some time to see their classroom, see what some of the needs are, and then we can kind of meet those needs as they bring the applications to us. Advanced teacher reimbursement program. We teachers that are seeking advanced degrees have the opportunity to ask us for some help there. So far, we've given 19 teachers reimbursements in the program, and it's about $2,675 for that. Another one of our programs is to recognize new teachers. This year we gave out $100 Amazon gift cards, and we gave out 16 of those this year. We are we oversee and manage family scholarships, and this last May we gave out $28,750 in scholarships to the students this past May. Brian Bliss was Educator of the Year this year, and we gave $500 from the foundation to Brian in recognition of that. Our foundation trustees, I'm sure you know, but nevertheless, real quickly, myself, Susan Holden, Trish Alexander, Susan Lockhart, Virginia Ackerson, Daryl Bohannon, Brent Carruthers, Kara Costner, John Crowley, Steve Croy, Bill Mills, Alice Roach, Dr. Sarah Sims, Paul Mishing, and Bing Schimmelfeening. Okay, these are the folks that meet with us every month to look over the foundation and make sure we're keeping things in order at 7:30 in the morning on Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of each month. Do y'all have any questions? Tell Jill that I did a good job, would you?
She'll watch the video. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the MSBA delegate report.
Oh, that's me. Okay, just have a couple things. I watched the video update for the monthly board report that MSBA produces, which is kind of a neat thing. They produce it for this purpose. So one of the things they mentioned is that the state board is starting their search to replace the commissioner and hire a permanent commissioner of education. They did mention that they are not in a hurry because things are running smoothly under Dr. Dorson, who is the acting commissioner. So it's not one of those things where they have to get somebody in place really quick so they can do business, because they actually have a quorum now with some of the new appointees. And this is going to be helpful, hopefully, for us in the future. DESE is having discussions regarding state funding for fiscal year 2019. They are requesting the state board to request full state funding for student transportation over a 9-year period. So we have, there's currently a $200 million shortfall, which of course the school districts are feeling that. It may be a dream, but MSBA is advocating strongly for that transportation funding. So keep our fingers crossed. Anything will help. And then finally, because we have on our agenda tonight some of the board policy updates to look at, I thought this was important to mention. The MSBA policy updates are designed for legal compliance and support in helping districts make informed decisions and to protect us from making costly and damaging mistakes. So as part of our membership, we get those updates regularly with a recommendation. So I think sometimes we need to keep our focus on why we're getting those. Our membership pays for those, and the purpose for them giving us that guidance from their legal department so that we can make sure that we're having the correct policies in place to protect us and our students and our staff and so on and so forth. So that's it.
Good, thank you. Assessment and evaluation of district programs.
Revenues recorded year to date for the general fund and the special revenue fund mirror the same period of receipts of last year, within just tenths of a point. Expenditures for both the general fund and revenue funds mirror those of August of 2017 as well, with no expected variances. Capital project expenditures included in the report are the continued roof repair at HES, and the total cash and investments are $8.97 million. Questions?
Thank you, Kathy. We'll move on to the Comprehensive School Improvement Plan.
Just a couple things to note for this month. Goal number 3 talks about professional development. I know Dan has worked hard to develop that plan and to tinker it so that we have a presentation, or he's got the PD plan in there for you tonight to approve for this year. And then goal number 4 talks about relationships with the community and staff. And so at the beginning of the year, you may recall we did an exercise, tabletop exercise with our staff. From that, we've kind of developed an area of focus, of concentration. We're going to send out another survey to the staff. Jill's working on that right now with that information, just to verify, and then we'll use that as part of our strategic plan moving forward. So, and then safety. Goal number 7 talks about safety. The safety committee has met twice so far. A lot of good, positive conversation about how we can make things safer for our students and our staff. Particularly, we focused on a couple of items. One is the individual spaces. So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to how we can protect our staff and our students, we've talked a lot about individual spaces and what kind of devices that we can use to protect them. So we'll have some recommendations at some point with that too. And Bing spent a lot of time and done a lot of research, and I know he's been instrumental in getting the tourniquets, working with the hospital to provide the Stop the Bleed training that we will have in November that coincides with our other safety training. So those are 3 of the things that we've focused on recently that go along with the comprehensive school improvement plan. So.
2018-19 PD plan.
The plan is included as an attachment, just a quick version of it. That PD, Professional Development, PDC, Professional Development Committee. So there is a district professional development committee with 2 members from each building, 1 from Cass Career Center because of the number of teachers they have. 1 teacher from each of the buildings makes up an executive council. There's a chairperson. We meet monthly, develop together what the 6 PD days that we have throughout the year will look like. Kind of built around the CSIP, of course, and what those goals are. And that's the primary function of that committee. Then the buildings themselves approve the professional development for teachers. So if teacher A wanted to go something, there's a channel that they fill out the form, submit it to the PDC rep from that building, and the building principals sit down and they discuss, is it in alignment with the goals? Do we have the money? Where is it? And then they approve or disapprove it at the building level. So that's kind of the nutshell. In that reports lists all the members, what our goals are, and along with information about the new teacher mentoring program too. Any questions about that?
Did you? Maybe you said it and I just didn't hear it. How are the members chosen from each?
They've nominated back at the school level. I mean, principals have a meeting and say, because there is a 3-year rotation, and so they'll say, there's a spot opener if a person leaves, moves away. So then it opens up at the level, and then they vote on it at the school level.
All right, thanks, Dan.
That's an action item.
Oh, that is an action?
Yeah, approve.
Sorry, I moved on. We do need to approve the professional development plan. We need a motion.
I move to approve the professional development plan for 2018-19 as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll move on to MSBA policy revisions.
If there's anybody who has any specific questions about the policy, we did meet and discuss the policies as presented. This is just an informational aspect. So.
We'll vote on them next month.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Looking at the one that's IGB UC1, I didn't see any yellow, so is that?
New policy.
It's just brand new.
Okay. There are no other questions. We will move on to the part-time custodian addition. We need a motion.
I move to approve the addition of a female assistant wrestling coach.
No.
Part-time custodian.
I moved to. I
need to sit
forget
next to
that.
Tina.
You need to come sit next to
Right
me.
there.
I pushed the wrong link. I moved to approve the addition of a part-time custodian position not to exceed 29 hours per week. Sorry.
Second.
Jason, want to talk about that?
Yeah, just primarily it's going to be at the stadium, just in assessing our needs with custodial maintenance around the district and transition right now, obviously, with the director. We've been short a grounds person for quite a while, and typically our grounds people and maintenance people have been in charge of the stadium, which there's a lot of square footage there to clean of underneath and bathrooms and everything with that. So we had some conversation to try to see if we can make this work where we can have a custodian that's kind of part-time, and that's their thing, is to keep that clean, which will hopefully free up maintenance and grounds people doing more maintenance and grounds work. So we'll continue to assess it. So
Will they work just as needed, or will they have hours?
they'll have a pretty regular set schedule. We'll have to build that a little bit more once we have a new director in place too, and kind of see this. So we have a limit on how many hours, and we'll have to build it especially around use. There could be a week where you have 3 games, and so we're going to have to follow after that. And there might be a week where they aren't as many games, so we might need them working someplace else or filling in and doing stuff. But there's never a shortage of custodial work that needs to be done. So we will.
Do you think part-time will take care of it?
I think as of right now, and then we'll assess and kind of go from there. So.
Is this a nighttime position?
It'll be random, different hours. Not necessarily it's going to be daytime, but there might be some nighttime things, because usually you have the stadium ready to go and then clean the next morning, but periodically sometimes we have to come in at night to have it ready to go the next morning. So, but more often than not, it'll be a daytime position.
I should know the answer to this, but I admit I don't. In the spring, I know we've got things going on still at the stadium, but is it used as much, or do we expect this person to be more focused in other areas?
Potentially in the spring, yes, it's used as much. Winter, probably not as much. You always have the locker rooms underneath, so this person also, you have the wrestling, the middle school wrestling building down there. This will be part of that. So that's the winter. In the spring, you might not be on the track and you might not have as many events, but the locker room is used downstairs year-round, and there are showers, bathrooms. There's a lot of cleaning to be done in that locker room.
Was this, will this have much of a financial impact on the budget?
No, not much of a financial impact. I mean, we talked, Kathy and Mr. Menching and I, we have not been paying for that grounds. That position is still there, but this position will be lower definitely on the salary schedule, and we're limiting. We don't pay benefits. They do pay into peers, but keeping it under at 29 hours or less, there's not benefits with this.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to the girls wrestling coach edition. We need a motion.
Go, Gina.
Okay. Now I'd like to move to approve the addition of a female assistant wrestling coach.
Second.
So I'll talk about this a little bit, and Jason can add if he wants to. But Coach Maxwell approached me with the changes in the Missouri State High School Activities Association requirements for wrestling. So the member schools voted to change wrestling to split the genders and say there's girls wrestling and boys wrestling. This year is the way that it's being accomplished. This year is if there are separate meets for girls, and they can go to those, but they can still wrestle with the boys this year. And I believe this is the last year that they're going to allow that. Then next year it's going to be completely separated. So Coach Maxwell approached me. We do have some girls that are wrestling and doing a good job, and but just for the privacy issues that are associated with weigh-ins and those type of things, and in the future and where that's going to be when we have one group go to one meet and one go to another meet. It just allows us to have the flexibility where we have a coach that's assigned to the girls specifically, and we want to make sure that we're in compliance with Title IX and, as well. So that's why we feel like it's necessary to add that positions.
Paul, will we have to amend our stipend schedule to add another coach position?
I think so. That's what we're going to have to do. So.
And would it be the same pay as the other coach? Would they be the same?
Right. That was the recommendation. So.
We have somebody that's going to take this position currently?
I believe we do, yes.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Revisions to the salary schedules.
I'll make the motion that we approve the revisions as indicated to the other instructional pay schedule and the substitute teacher pay schedule.
Second. So, I don't know if this was an auditor catching this or if we caught this. I'm not sure.
I think payroll.
When we do payroll, probably is when we caught it.
So we just noticed that there were some positions that are associated with the schedule that didn't get bumped up on the last time that was approved by the board. So we wanted to make sure that those were in compliance.
So do we have any personnel who were adversely affected by this, or is this just more a housekeeping type of thing?
It was caught as we were getting the new contracts put in,
Right.
so we haven't had any.
Okay.
Everybody's going to get paid correctly, so
Okay, good. Thank
that's
you.
how it was determined. Yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, business services, the 911 simulator at CCC.
I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of the 911 Reality Basic Simulator from Professional Pride Incorporated in the amount of $22,342.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there some reason we don't have 3 bids for this? I know I read the statement that this was the best of the best.
It was considered sole source.
It is sole source.
Yeah.
It's not just it is sole source.
If you read through what I included as a attachment, it's in there. According to the specs that they wanted, we can do that. We can say these are the specs we want, and if there's someone who follows those specs to the T and are the only ones that are the local distributor or the area distributor, then we can consider it a sole source, and that's what this was.
It's pretty proprietary. There's not a whole lot of
Outfits that want to make it. Okay.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, HES roof extension. So we need a motion. No? This doesn't have the motion written down on here.
Well, if we have a motion, it would need to be in the affirmative.
Right.
Yep.
And then we all vote
I think
no.
you're going to handle it beautifully, Chris.
For discussion purposes. But if it doesn't have a motion, then it just, we move on to the next.
It can do that. Do you want to have any discussion? How do you want to work that? So.
I think we need to make an emotion in the affirmative, second it, discuss it, and then we can vote yea or nay, and then if we need to go on, we go on.
Okay, well, I'll make the motion, and correct me if I get this wrong, Susan. Make the motion to approve the extension request from DB2 for the roof construction.
Second.
Okay, now discussion.
So DB2, as included in your packet, has requested an extension of their time. So they were supposed to end September 7th on the roof project at HES. There is liquidated damages that are built into the contract And there are scenarios where we would grant those, weather and varying things. If we made mistakes on our end, getting something signed or whatever, which there may have been some issues there, but regardless, those extensions were granted up to September 7th. So here we come September 7th, and as that date is approaching, DB2 comes to us and they say that they want some extra time without liquidated damages. The biggest concern that they had was supply of the steel. They talked about the tariffs. They talked about some varying factors that caused delay in the steel. They talked about the supplier, I mean, my comments to that are, first of all, you're building the product. The supplier should have had it on hand. You should have it in. You should either store it on your site or store it on our site, which was provided. It should have already been ordered and ready to go. There were some issues that they also failed to do. They didn't get the shop drawing stamped, which caused some delays. I mean, all those delays during that time, they could have ordered the steel. Of course, they would have taken a chance because the shop drawings weren't stamped, which they should have been anyways. Just a whole lot of mess. Now on their side, what they told Jason and I in our meeting was, well, hey, we're here, we're working on Saturdays, we're trying to show good faith, and so that's why we being DB2 are requesting the extension. The way that I read the contract, the architect is the one that grants the extension, not the school district. I appreciate the fact that Justin ran it through us and talked to us about it. His recommendation is to deny the extension. He feels like we've given him a reasonable amount of time, and Jason and I feel the same, that we've given them a reasonable amount of time. The roof should be done. That's their own concerns that have caused these delays, and yes, they did do some things to try and make up that time, but that's part of business, I guess.
With the first extension that was granted, did they have to pay, or was that waived? So
it was waived. That we did grant the first extension, and that was on contract. Yeah, there was contract issues there.
So in
what? Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, the liquidated damages, is it per day?
Yes, $500 a day.
And they're asking for 7 weeks.
Is that 5 days a week when they say 7 weeks? Is that typically 35 days?
Yep.
The stamp issue that you were talking about, is that what, I forgot the Hans, I guess, is that what he was alluding to when he said, I can't find it immediately in the letter, but he talked about engineering problems and is that the, okay.
But we didn't create those.
Right, yeah. And
No, I think they were mad because the architect asked for requested stamped drawings. Well, you have to have stamped drawings if you're going to get the product warranted, so I don't know why.
I didn't.
So is any part of the delay surely wasn't tremendously weather-based?
No.
Because of the summer.
There was none.
So they're saying supply, the tariffs.
The tariffs are and then the supplier themselves have the transportation. They said there was some in this part of the country, some in this part of the country, and trying to get it all the same place.
Well, I don't think, or I personally, I don't think we should grant that extension. We've given them one. If we were offering to supply a laydown, you could get the material here. So.
And we did. We had the spot roped off for months.
Talking 17,000 roughly in liquidated damages if we grant that extension, right? 18,000.
Oh.
And is it in the agreement that they won't work during the day when the kids are there, or is that something they've volunteered?
No, that's
part of the agreement.
So if we don't grant the extension and they have to step it up, they still won't be doing it during the day when the kids are in the building, right?
Correct.
But they will still be doing it on Saturday.
Well,
as
that's
a
up to them.
continued
My bet,
show of good faith.
the way that he talked to us, no, they're going to pull them off on Saturdays. So,
to me, and maybe I'm wrong because I don't know this industry very well, but to me, it's not a matter of good faith; it's a matter of contractual
Right.
agreement.
Well, if it was my business, I'd get them there on Saturday to get it done on time.
Well, I don't know that
But
we told
So
you.
you don't
you have to
pay
balance the
liquidated
liquidated damages versus the labor costs
Right.
because you're paying overtime now. So,
Well,
but that's a business practice. That's so.
He had a whole statement in this letter about the tariffs and how that's, well, you know what, I'm not in the business, but I knew before the election, if a certain president were to win that election, we were gonna have trade tariffs, particularly with China, which is
Well,
where,
and this,
you know, I.
this is
I
the
have
first
no
that's been brought up,
sympathy.
I think. Have you heard about this? April, May, June, July, when they're waiting?
No,
for
it
this?
was no. It
So all of a
was,
sudden they're going to throw this tariffs out
Yeah,
and try and scare people. That, oh yeah.
Okay, so we've got a motion on the floor to approve it.
All in favor?
Well, they're not here because I told them that it would not be. I said that I would present it, but I also was pretty clear in saying I doubt that the board is going to approve this.
He was clear.
Okay, so the motion is out there to approve it. All in favor of approving it?
All opposed?
Aye.
There you have it. Okay, we will adjourn the meeting and reconvene in closed session. Thank you guys for coming.
We need a motion.
Oh, we need a motion. I'm sorry. Sorry, God.
I
help
move
me.
to adjourn the meeting and reconvene in closed session.
Second, okay.
I'm sorry.
Roll
Who
call.
seconded? Who said? Doug? Nancy?
God bless you.
Yes. Doug?
Yes.
Bing?
Yes.
Yes.
Tina? Chris?
Yes.
Gina? Yes.